friends, it's your old pal Jordan the Lion. How are you today? It's been a great morning already. It's 10 a.m. and I have already been out vlogging. I have already went out and vlogged what you're gonna see tomorrow when I have to work. Like I told you yesterday, I got booked for a job, I'm gonna work, and you got a great vlog tomorrow. I was really happy with what I filmed. I was thinking last night, I really like doing the traveling vlogs, and so I started looking at some US destinations that I might like to go to see what was in my price range or what would they cost to go. And here's a funny thing. I kind of have it narrowed down to 3 places that I'd really like to go. One of which being back to Dayton to visit my family. But here's the weird thing. I was actually already thinking like, well, I'd kind of rather go see them a little closer to the holidays, maybe November or December, but when I looked up how much it was for a plane ticket round trip to go visit them, it cost as much or more just for the plane ticket to Dayton and back as it does for me to go to the 2 other cities that I was thinking of with hotels for the nights that I'll be there and the rental car. Isn't that weird that I could get basically a package deal that costs exactly or roughly the same amount as just a round trip ticket to Dayton? That's such a bummer. So I'm thinking that I might do that because I wanted to keep that kind of spirit alive of getting out of the city and doing things, and I want to kind of work within the budget that I have. And there's 2 places, actually 3 or 4 that I'd really love to go see, but 2 of them that immediately popped out in my mind that I knew the accommodations and the tickets and everything probably wouldn't be that much. So I'm thinking about it, and I'll let you know if I decide I'm going to do it. Well, we're out for our first walk of the day together, me and my buddy. I don't know, something about those clouds makes me think that we are up for some rain, so I'm gonna try and get out and do the vlog early. He's actually been invited to go over to Pollyanna's house today because her parents are going out for a date evening and wanted him to come over and keep her company, so he's gonna be gone here in a few hours. And believe it or not, I think I've actually zeroed in on what it is exactly I want to go do for the vlog today, and this is another thing I've never actually been to see, so this will be a new one for us all. We're gonna go see the amazing Criswell. What you doing? You're trying to push me around today, aren't you? Tell me where we're gonna go? Gunslinger? As much as I didn't miss all the heavy traffic that I have to deal with here, I did actually miss seeing these rows of palm trees that line up just about every street in Hollywood. I definitely miss seeing those. And I always love looking at this one in particular. Always really cool detail. I always like the American flag. Jaw just pees on it as I'm talking about how cool it is. And since today is about Criswell, I think maybe today is an appropriate day to definitely wear the top hat out to the cemetery. What do you think? Well, I could just see as I drove by that the old Valentino ruins are now a gigantic homeless camp. So at least somebody's living there. Well, we are here, Valhalla. First time I've ever been here. Well, the first thing I saw was this, which I thought was really incredible. It's a rifle with the bayonet facing down and a helmet on it. It said, "Soldier rest. Thy warfare o'er, dream of fighting fields no more, sleep the sleep that knows not breaking, morn of toil, nor night of walking." Sir Walter Scott. Now I know there are many famous people buried out here, some in unmarked graves and some in marked graves, and today I just want to reiterate that today is only about Criswell. This is a primarily military-based as well as aviation-based cemetery, so there's quite a lot of innovative inventors and war heroes and flight and aviation heroes buried here, but today it's all about Criswell. But they did honor one of my favorite people right here, G.W. George Washington. Well, I'm thinking that Criswell is actually buried over in here. As far as I could tell online, I don't know, we'll see. Online it said the niches of remembrance, so we'll see if this is it. Well, here he is. Right there. Criswell predicts. Charles Criswell, King, 1907 to 1982. Now, Criswell was a pretty interesting character to me because I first found out about him during Tim Burton's Ed Wood movie. And then I got into watching the Ed Wood movies, and then I got interested in what is this Criswell guy? Now, he has a pretty fascinating history because he actually started out making an infomercial for his family's vitamin company and started doing this Criswell Predicts character just to kind of fill up time. And these infomercials were in Los Angeles and Hollywood, so he kind of became known as like a local kind of celebrity from that. Which is kind of funny because you'd see that happen throughout history. People that did infomercials would become a celebrity like that. And he ended up getting his own show on KLAC, where he got to do these wild predictions. He ended up getting on the Jack Paar show, doing these predictions, and actually became friends, supposedly, with Mae West. And it was said that he predicted that Mae West would at some point become president of the United States, and that she would take him and Liberace's brother up to the moon in a rocket ship. They also said that Mae West loved Criswell so much that she used to cook him dinners and apparently would sell him her old cars for $5. But what I loved about Criswell is that he was always known for making these like really far-fetched predictions that probably were never going to come true. Some of them were like he said that that a space ray was going to come from outer space and hit Denver and obliterate it. He said that they were going to be like mass cannibalization all across the world. He said that, and the one that he actually got kind of right was he said on the Jack Paar show that he didn't believe that John F. Kennedy would run for another term as president in 1964 because of something that would happen in November of 1963. So he actually kind of nailed that one. But Criswell was interesting because he had a look, and they kind of go into it in the Ed Wood movie, where there's a part where he says that what he's doing is all BS and that it's all about looking good and speaking well. And so that's why he has this white hair with a spit curl and a sequin tuxedo. And Criswell is just a really interesting character. So he ends up becoming wrapped up in this world of Ed Wood, and he ends up doing the voiceover parts for Plan 9 from Outer Space. He's the narrator in that. He's also in Orgy of the Dead, and he was in, like, I think Ghoul Goes West, like a handful of things that Ed Wood would end up working on. He actually became like a very good friend of Ed's and trusted confidant. And Criswell actually married this really beautiful, like, dancer, and that they had like this kind of weird secret marriage for years and years. And he actually recorded a song that he gave to Paul Marco, who was also part of the Ed Wood clique. I believe he played the policeman, if I'm not mistaken. And he told Paul Marco, after I die, I want this song released. And so that 7-inch came out, and I think it was called Don't Walk Across My Grave. I'll check into that. But obviously, you can't walk across his grave because he was cremated and put here on the wall. Some of Criswell's other kind of odd predictions that never came true is that he said that the world would end on August 18th, 1999, which didn't happen. He also said that when that sun ray came out of the sky and hit Denver, that it would make everything that was metal turn to rubber, and this would cause a major problem with all the roller coasters in the world. But what's funny to me is that his co-star, Mila Nurmi, who was Vampira, actually went on record as saying that she believed he actually could predict the future and believed a lot of what he said. Now, some people said that Bela Lugosi, who was the star of Plan 9, would sometimes sleep in a casket, but Criswell also claimed to sleep in caskets. He said that when he was a kid living in Indiana, his family members owned a funeral home, and it was kind of a tumultuous family, and he somehow found comfort and refuge in sleeping in caskets and would do that for the rest of his life. Can you imagine that? That white hair with a spit curl, sequin tuxedo, sleeping in a casket every night. Now, if you're ever curious to read up on some of Criswell's wild predictions, he actually published 3 books, and thanks to the Jack Parr Show, early on he was able to get published some of these predictions in Spaceway magazine. And when I mentioned that he had been married to this dancer, her name was Halo Meadows, and she was actually a speakeasy dancer, and they said the only thing that she was really notable for was being on You Bet Your Life. It was said that Criswell believed that we were the modern Romans, and so he would look through various local newspapers and look for hints that tied in with Roman history, and that was how he would supposedly make a lot of his predictions. He ended up dying of a heart attack in 1982 here in Burbank. I just stopped off here at this 99-cent store to see if there's anything I need, and apparently I'm not the only one. Apparently Freddy, Daphne, Velma, and Shaggy and Scooby are here too, for a mere 50 cents. I'd say we got a few things. Alright, I'd never been to this one before. This one was awesome. Well, that is definitely the first time I've ever seen that sign before. His return to tail waggers.
It's like, don't tell me about my treats. Like,
You never get tired of the treats, do you? Well, I pretty much realized as soon as I started driving off to go see Criswell that I forgot my top hat, so bummer. I think he would have appreciated that. Well, we're walking this guy over to Pollyanna's house, and we're going to make our last stop of the night over there to finish up our tribute to Criswell. And then I have to come home and do laundry, which will be boring for everyone, so I'm not even going to include you guys in that. Now this building right here, it's called the Highland Tower, and this was actually one of Criswell's apartments. I couldn't find what exact room he was in, but this was where he resided in the early 1950s in the heyday of his career. And right there where that brown door of the gate is, that's where the courtyard entrance is. I'll walk us by that on the way back. Alright dude, say goodbye to your YouTube friends. You're going to Pollyanna's now. Bye, Ja. Well, I found an old picture when there used to be the old Hollywood streetcars that were going up and down this street on Highland. And I found a picture that matches up pretty close to right here, and you'll actually see in that old picture that there used to be a crossing right across here, a pedestrian walkway across here. But you can see the statue of the Hollywood Bowl muse, and you can see the tree behind it and everything. I'll match that up right here. Well, we're back over at Criswell's apartment, and though he didn't have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, he definitely deserved one in my book. He was one of those oddities that made Hollywood Hollywood. And here was his courtyard if you wanted to see it. Well, remember the It House that I showed you yesterday, that pop-up that they're doing? They actually have a 20-minute tour that goes along with that, and I went online to sign up for it, and it's actually, even though it's free, it's sold out for the entire run already. Every single time slot on every single day. So I signed up for their waiting list, which basically they just give you like kind of a last minute notice, so maybe I'll get to go in and vlog it and maybe not. Well, that pretty much wraps up our day honoring the wild, wacky predictions of Criswell. Have a great night, Lionhearts. I will see y'all tomorrow. Goodbye.